Alright everybody, how's it going? This is Andre. I promised y'all I was going to show y'all how to do the how to change your NES's color, when it's all yellow and ugly looking. This is everything you need. Make sure you have your rubber gloves. If not, you'll pay for it, because this stuff right here will actually stain the heck out of your hand. You'll have white hands for a long time. But make sure you have it. Also, it can actually do a chemical burn on your hand, so make sure you have it. Alright, you got your plastic wrap. Of course, I got Great Value, cheap, no name brand, it works. All that's for is to basically make sure it does not evaporate off the top or off your console. Because if it evaporates, you ain't doing nothing but just letting it bake in the sun. Again, make sure you have your gloves. The other thing you need is a Phillips head screwdriver. This is the old one I just dug up, but it seems to be working. It seems to fit in every single hole underneath the NES. Let's see here. Alrighty. Basically, you're gonna go all 6 screws out, and then there's this one right here, which is the fun one to get to, but luckily my screwdriver can actually get it. Alright, I'm gonna pause the video for a second so I can go ahead and undo it, take it apart, and get it started. Yeah, the reason why I'm redoing it, I forgot to say, was you see the uneven colors. It still has a little yellow right over here. We're going to try to get rid of that. Also, make sure you take these off. You see how it damaged mine. It actually faded my black. Luckily, I have a spare, and I'll probably sand these down and paint them later. Or I might be able to sand them down real fine and get rid of this, top layer. But these actually just unscrew, so it's pretty easy. And a few of y'all actually asked questions about the sticker. It may fade. I mean, the sticker looks exactly the same as it did forever. The only time I ever had an issue of the sticker is trying to wipe this down with alcohol, and it faded the sticker a little. But this stuff surprisingly does not fade the sticker. But you can take it off. There's screws on the inside. I'll show you later. I think they're flat heads, and it takes that whole little spring mechanism apart, and it just comes right out. I'm not going to do it, but I'll show you where you can do it at. Make sure it's done. Also, I'll show you how to unscrew these and take these off also. Alright, pause the video again. Alright, I got the screws out. So I can do it by one hand. Ta-da! Let's see. Just looks kind of rough. She's a good old NES. Alright. See how right here broke and all the others are okay? Now, when you're unscrewing this, make sure you keep your screwdriver steady. If you do not keep your screwdriver steady, it will move the screw and it will crack that. These things are 30 years old, and let's just say I'm 30 years old and I'm a lot more fragile than I used to be. Stuff deteriorates in ages. So you can fix it. I'm going to fix it with JB Weld plastic. But JB Weld or super glue, you can super glue it. Just make sure you don't overdo it. You can get it back on there. But the JB Weld seems to bond more securely, like nothing happened. So I use it. Alright. Again, like I said, if you want to take your door out, door off, let's see if it'll focus. There it goes. See, it's a little flat head. It's on each side. You just undo that, and you can pop it right out. But you see, I've actually did the underside. You can see where it's still yellowed a little bit. And there's still a little dirt in there too. Last time I did it. And well, what you gonna do? Dirt's gonna get them in anyway. And see. Well, it's also to get the little plastic piece off, black plastic piece, you're gonna need a Phillips head also. So alright, go ahead and take them off and I'll come right back. Alright, so I stand corrected. Alright, the one for the black piece, you have to actually unscrew all three of them for the front part. And thing is, when you unscrew that, it's this little spring clip right here that holds your door in. So it come off, and what I did was slid it over to the right, or we'll just slid it over to where it was, and the door just popped right out like I said it would. Because I mean, you don't even have to undo this one. This is the main one that come on, focus, there it goes. This is the main one that, you know, just holds it there so your door don't fall out. So I mean, it's really easy to take the door off. I may take the other one off the other console since it's darker colored and use it, but I mean, besides that, I mean, it doesn't hurt it. You can order them on eBay fairly cheap just to replace it. But anywho, here's the plastic pieces. You see where the screws were. The front one, of course, it still has some of the chemical. Now my finger's gonna turn white from the last time I cleaned it, which shows it's a good thing. But you see how it discolored it, turned it milky colored. I'm gonna try to sand them. I mean, after sanding them, if it doesn't work, if they don't repop, what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and paint them black or something, or paint them red, you know, just to throw it off. I don't know. But again, make sure you take these off. You know, the first time I did it was just a flat out run. The person I actually learned this from was a hairdresser. They accidentally poured this stuff on a old register that was yellowed. And they told me about this first. Then I looked it up, and I noticed several people were doing it on computers. A piece of dirt. I'm probably going to clean it up first. Got that stuff on me. Alright. Before I do it, I'll probably clean it up. But you see how yellow it was right there. I mean, it shows it's not only the UV light, it's just the aging of this stuff. But you can see how well it's already done on it. And the parts right there, it needs to be redone. But all that is actually where the cellophane kind of got in the way, where it bubbled up. I could probably set it underneath the UV light without the cellophane, and that'll go away. I'm going to keep doing the cellophane just because it stops it from evaporating and makes it last longer. Again, you can really tell the yellow on that one. You know, see, I had this side towards the sun, and I wasn't able to get a good shining of the sunlight on that, so it wasn't able to get hit with the UV. And, you know, this side had pretty good. That's from where I just wiped that stuff off. Again, I'm going to clean it beforehand because you want to make sure you get all the oil and stuff from your hand. Yeah, it's working man's hand. You want to make sure you get all the oil off of it from off your hands, because believe it or not, you know, anybody that's painted theirs, they'll know. Hey, you want it to bubble up or have any incident, let the oil from your hand be on it. Alright, I'm going to pause again as I get the gloves on, get everything ready. Alright. Just to again show that I'm actually using this stuff on it, you know. Because a lot of people didn't believe me. Alright. Pour it on there. You want it covered pretty good. So, I mean, if it's not covered pretty good, you're going to have an issue of it coming up blotchier than mine. But you notice you couldn't notice the blotchiness until you put it in, you know, a certain angle in the sunlight. You know, well, in light altogether. I'm getting here because there's still some yellowing in the doorway. Whoever owned this one before me, I guess they just left their door open. Which I find myself doing that a lot. This is the reason why I said get the cream. Because if you don't get the cream, you get the regular, you're going to have to cut it with OxyClean. And cut it, well, you don't really have to use the OxyClean. But you're going to have to cut it with cornstarch or something to thicken it up. And that retro bright crap, you know, it tells you to get that stuff from Whole Foods and all that crap. You know, there's no need. This costs $5. You can get their store brand, which costs you $4. But I was going to get it, but they didn't have it. Because apparently the hairdressers just love this stuff. In the 40. I mean, I could have got a several gallon. And I probably could have sold the bottles to y'all, or, you know, just for shipping and trying to make up for it. But I'm not a greedy asshole, so. So I just bought that. I might buy more later because, I mean, I still got 2 Super Nintendos I got to do with this. And, you know, guy I do work for every once in a while, he might want some NESs done, so again, I might charge him since he's local and he's a store. He's actually a retail guy, and he cuts me pretty good deals. That's how I got. I mean, I got this NES for $10. I mean, you can't beat that. Wife didn't like it much because I already had one. And I do spend a little bit of money, but, you know, it is what it is. Alright. Alright, it's getting hard to do this with just one hand. Again, that's it. I'm going to wrap it with cellophane and leave it out for several hours. It should be pretty. But I might after wrapping it with cellophane, I might leave it out again for a extra couple of hours, just letting it sit in the sun without it, so it's not going to have that bubbling. And it's just an experiment I'm trying, but alright, here goes nothing. Alright, see, I went ahead and wrapped it with cellophane. It's going to sit here. This is where I do a lot of my woodwork and stuff like that. I make things every once in a while. It's a whole bunch of stain on it, but it looks dirty as hell, but it's not. It just has different pieces of stain where it's splashed. Alright, I'm going to leave it here in the sun for 8 hours. By the time I come back, it should be cooked pretty well. And then I'm going to, I guess, add some more to it. Because, see how it wrinkles? That cellophane wrinkles. It's going to leave those wrinkle marks that you've seen on there. No matter what you do.